Alright, y'all. So I'm basically just here chilling, relaxing until I see my the next person I need to work on for the day. So I got about a good 20-30 minutes, before my next clientele come for the day that I get to see. So you know what something told me, I brought this book in today. This is one of my favorite mentors of all time. I think he's from Russia. He's a Ross, Dr. Ross, can't pronounce his last name. Yeah, but that's pretty much his name. This is pretty much the book. It's a good book. This is more what they call like the Bible of massage world. It's a great book, great information. He's been doing this for over 37 years. He's a pretty good, and he's a scientist too. That's a good thing about this. He loves the science aspect of it. So a lot of things that he's developed is pretty much based off what they call science protocols. So I'm just open up the book. It was written like in 2000. I think it was 99 or 2007. I don't know, but it's a good book. So I said, let me just open up and read. So I just open up the two sections. This one is basically pain evaluation and pain patterns. I thought about going through that. I thought about reading some of that for everybody today, and then I also looked at the vibration massage. Just open up a certain session. That would be for me, the vibration and its effect on the body, which I'm probably going to read tonight. I probably read, man. People don't understand how powerful massage is, man. If you can get massaged 12 to 15 times like you do physical therapy, man, I promise you, the world will be different. Not only just massage, but things like, remember the cold water. If you can combine those two daily, man, you can do some serious things. Listen, I was talking to one therapist we got here, and he broke his back, and the doctor, it blew out his spine. The doctor was like he'd never be able to walk again. And he was in a wheelchair, like 16 years old. He was in a wheelchair for a long time, and then he went out and got massage for like 3. He said he got massage for 3 weeks, every single day, non-stop. And after the 3rd week, he said one night he woke up, he just started walking. And then he woke up out of his dream, and he was in the bathroom, he just screamed. His mind came off, and they said, "Where's my chair?" And they was surprised. They got up and walked. But that was just like the power of massage. That's the thing that massage could do. But it's a lot of other things that you can add on. But anyway, let me go ahead and what you just say about cold water, bro. Man, hey, cold water is powerful, man. Cold water is like massage. Cold water is very healing to the body, man. It's like an adaptive change to the body, man. If you can adapt to cold water, man, you can do some serious great work to you, man, because it's like the heat is going to dilate the arteries, the cold is going to constrict, and it's going to help you move a lot of waste, and that's when you're going to be able to move and get the stagnation out of your body. And once you get the stagnation out of your body, you'll get the blood flow, the raw minerals to help the body, assist in its healing and things that it do. But anyway, the cold is powerful. I did some on my little live yesterday. I just wrote a few. Read some off my little notes yesterday. But today I'm gonna read this. Pain evaluation. I don't want to bore a lot of people, so I'll probably start from characters of pain. Forget it. We'll start right here. Pain evaluations and pain patterns. Actually, I'm gonna go over here and just show you like what some of these chapters have. Like you see, like so it's basically talking about like certain pains and right here, a lot of things that it's affecting. Same thing here, the maxillary sinus, it's the nerve, TMJ dysfunction, hypertension, But this is a powerful book, y'all, man. So I'm going to start reading it. I got me and my homeboy James. We're going to be reading this stuff too. Powerful stuff. A lot of people had the trapeziums, muscle syndrome, dealing with the traps, all up in this area. So man, this is a powerful book, man. And I haven't read it. I'm more of a spontaneous massage type of guy. My homeboy James, he's more of a scientific type of guy, but I'm still going to read this book, man, because there's so much information off in it. And I'm just going to start right here. Reading the pain evaluations and pain patterns. So we got many somatic abnormalities and their corresponding medical massage protocols are presented in his books. However, clinical reality is much more complex because the same patient very frequently has combination of several syndromes, and the differentiation and diagnostic evaluation is a difficult process at the beginning of the practice of the medical massage therapy. To increase the practical value of this publication, I would like to introduce a special section which uses the major patient's complaint, pain, as a diagnostic tool. Pain is not only the pathological symptom the practitioner should consider during the formulation of medical massage protocols. But this is the major alarm which sends the patient to look for professional help. All other pathological symptoms which accompany active reflex zones, we're going to get to that. That's very important in another chapter. We'll get to that in another chapter. But that's how I'm going to do. I'm going to read a lot of this here while I'm at work, just so I can read the book. As long as I'm reading to somebody, it make me want to read to somebody, so it make me want to read the book a whole lot more. What was it? Information in this section is only a general outline and is designed to help the practitioner during the first steps in diagnostic evaluation. Man, massage is powerful. Understanding the pain mechanism and the means to control it during the treatment is critical information for anyone who practices the medical massage therapy. As discussed above, the restoration of the normal threshold of pain receptors and the eliminations of the conditions of hyperirritability are the first steps in the medical massage therapy protocol. In general, pain receptors or nociceptors play a unique role in our body. Man, it plays a powerful role. We just don't know. Their activations by any factor always activates the sympathetic. Sympathetic, that's when the nerve gets, bang, bang, bang. Vagus controls a lot of the sympathetic nervous system anyway, y'all. But it activates the sympathetic division of the autonomic nervous system. He always put all his studies off in this information in this book. This is a very powerful book. With the resulting development of vasoconstriction. You remember the vascular constriction means constrict. Vascular muscular tension and the spasm in the skeletal and smooth muscles. According to Professor Core, any condition which constantly stimulates the sympathetic tone finally causes a somatic or visceral organs, more the inner organs, visceral organs dysfunctions. Thus, the restoration of balance between the sympathetic and the parasympathetic divisions of the autonomic nervous system is impossible to achieve without the elimination of the pain factor. And that's important. You got to eliminate the pain factors first. You got to quiet those nerves and things of that nature. That's when a lot of the petricides come in hand. A good 5-10 minutes of just quieting everything. Don't need a lot of pressure either. So science understood little about the pain before Professor R. Melzek and Professor P. Wall introduced the gate control theory of pain in 1965. This is a very important issue for the practitioner, and I would like to refer the reader to a separate publication of therapeutic massage. I need to go back and reread that. A scientific approach to, I had read it, but I need to go back and read it. A scientific approach to where the gate control theory of pain is discussed in detail from the medical massage point of view. It's from the medical massage point of view. The general evaluation of pain as a syndrome starts during the patient's interview. This gives the practitioner important and valuable ideas which later can be confirmed during the palpatory examination. Palpate means to feel. Examination of the soft tissues. Tissues like muscular tissues, things of that nature. There are several issues regarding pain that the practitioner should consider when interviewing the patient on the onset of the pain, the character of the pain, the type of pain, the time of the pain, during certain times of the day, the pain dependencies from movement, and the intensity of the pain. Let's review their meanings in the medical massage practitioner. Alright, y'all, so we're going to that was more than just the basic outset of it. So we're going to read the onset of the pain. Acute or sudden onset pain. If the patient had acute onset of the pain, he or she will always remember it and its circumstances, of course, because our body holds a lot of memories, which may be important as well. If the patient says that he was completely well, and when he moved a heavy piece of furniture, he felt an acute pain which still bothers him, the practitioner should consider that the trauma is the initial cause. In such cases, the local application of medical massage will be more preferable. In another scenario, the patient may say that he felt acute pain in the early mornings when he was getting out of bed. The pathological outcome of this simple event tells the practitioner that he or she more likely will find a case of reflex zones. So I gotta go back and read over the reflex zones too. I know a little bit, but I don't know too much. But that's very powerful also in the skeletal muscles. Because different reflex zones affect different parts of the body, and once you can understand that, you can get a lot of great work done to yourself. Because you can do this your own self, people. This means that as a result of a condition of hyperirritability in the muscle spindle receptors, the threshold of their activation drops dramatically, and even simple movements after the night's sleep cause their premature activation. As soon as the muscle spindles receptors sent an excessive amount of sensory stimuli to the spinal cord, the lower motor centers evaluated this input as alarm and responded with a motor command to the affected area to protect it by locking the muscle to prevent any further damage. So like when let's say you're in pain, you hurt your back, all of a sudden you can't move it certain way. So your body, it's basically just protecting you from, hurting itself, further. I mean, the body is powerful, y'all. In the scenario, the practitioner needs to combine the reflex and the local effects of medical massage because the restoration of the threshold of the muscle spindle receptors is the first critical step in the elimination of the reflex zones in the skeletal muscles. So we're going to go back and reread that again. In this scenario, the practitioner needs to combine the reflex and the local effects of medical massage because the restoration of the threshold, remember the pain threshold, remember the pain of the muscle spindle receptors in the first critical step in the elimination of the reflex zones in the skeletal muscle. So basically, this is what we read, the medical massage book, it's a powerful book, so, it's powerful. Gradual onset pain. If the patient does not remember an actual event which precedes the onset pain and it gradually increased, the practitioner more likely will encounter a case of reflex zones with a gradual decrease of the threshold of the peripheral receptors. In such a case, the practitioner needs to also combine local and reflex effects of medical massage. And like I said, I'm going to go back, and when I get back to the reflex and things of that nature, I'm going to go back and reread that another day for y'all. I know my homeboy James, that's what he's on right now. Ain't that what you're on, James? The reflex zone. I need to go back and reread that. I just kind of skipping around, but I'm going to go back and reread that because I know it's very important. And my mentors, they always talk about it. So, character of the pain, sharp pain. The sharp pain. There are many reasons sharp pains develop: recent trauma of the soft tissues, compressions of the spinal nerve by a bulging or herniated disc, intervertebral disc, compression of the peripheral nerve by tense muscles, the acute stage of some visceral disorders, pancreatitis, kidney colic, as you say, pectoris. Let me see, active peristotal trigger points, tennis elbows, things of that nature, occlusive arteriovascular disorders during a decrease of the surrounding temperature, an acute stage of arthritis, aching pain. Aching pain accompanies hypertonic muscular abnormalities. Burning pain. Burning pain is a symptom of irritation or compression of the spinal or peripheral nerve. So let's say that again. We got burning pain is a symptom of irritation or compression of the spinal peripheral nerve. Cutaneous trigger points, advanced cases of the periostal abnormality, tennis elbow. When burning pain is felt during rest hours over part of the body. This is 100% sign of the cutaneous reflex zone. Like I said, I got to go back and redo my reflex zone because I feel that's very important. I need to go back and restudy it and learn and keep learning again because it's very important. In cases of the periostal trigger point, it has a very local and uneven pinpoint location. Pulsating pain. Pulsating pain is a sign of acute inflammation of the soft tissues or joint. Pulsating pain is a sign of acute inflammation of the soft tissues or joint, or insufficient venous and lymphatic drainage flow. And that's very important, because I'm always talking about the movement. Move your body in a million ways, because movement is what moves the lymphatic system. If we don't move our body, we're not gonna drain it. But let's go back to the pulsating pain. Pulsating pain is a sign of acute inflammation of the soft tissue. Let's say, you might hurt yourself, you got soft tissue or pull muscle, something of that nature, It's just insufficient venous and lymphatic drainage. Okay, we got more. We're going to the type of pain now. Local pain. Local pain is felt within the border of the anatomical segment of the body. For example, a trauma or osteoarthritis are examples of local pain. Radiating pain. A lot of you get those, from, let's say, part of your, your upper scapula, your traps. Somebody call it shoulder, which shoots up to the head, shoots down to the arm, things of that nature. Me and my sister used to talk about that a lot. Okay, radiating pain. The patient feels pain radiating from one area, sometimes distant parts of the body. Pain may radiate along an affected nerve or from active trigger points in the skeletal muscle along the fibers of the same muscles or the entire muscular group. That's just like the entire muscular group, just dealing like, like with things like, the fascia system. That's pretty much how it works. The pain from an active peristaltic trigger point may radiate into joint pain. The pain from active periostal trigger point may radiate into the joint pain. Okay, we have a spreading pain. The best example of a spreading pain is fibromyalgia. So we're going to talk about the spreading pain again. The best example of a spreading pain, fibromyalgia. But fibromyalgia is just, many muscles that hurt. That's when you break it down. Initially, so you just have poor lymphatic drainage, poor lymphatic movement. You're not moving. You may be moving, but you're not moving your body in a million billion ways. You got to get the waste out. Initially, it affects one area, and with time, it engulfs neighboring areas, and later new foci of pain appear in distant parts of the body. The best example of pain is fibromyalgia. Initially, it affects one area, and with time, it engulfs neighboring areas, and later new foci of pain receptors distant parts of the body. So any of y'all, experience that, just something you can look into, So I'm like I keep saying, I'm always, want to help the best I can. Visceral pain. Visceral pain is low grade. Visceral is different with the organs for the most part. Visceral pain is low grade, purely localized type of pain. However, in some cases, it can be very strong and acute. Example, the kidneys, the colic. In the majority of cases where the patient feels the pain is not its actual origin. You hear that? That's pretty much how it is. I'm always talking about that. However, in some cases, it can be very strong. Wait, whoa, I'm tripping. Okay, yeah, I'm tripping. However, in some cases, it can be very strong. In the majority of cases where the patient feels the pain is not its actual origin. The spreading character of visceral pain makes it difficult to evaluate. One of the major signs of visceral pains is its correlation with one or several autonomic reactions such as headaches, nausea, vomiting, profuse sweating, coldness, and paleness of skin. So we're going to go back and read the visceral again because I feel that's important. I got about 10 minutes for 10-15 minutes anyway. So 11:40, yeah, got about 10-15 minutes. Visceral pain is a low-grade and purely localized type of pain. However, in some cases, it can be very strong and acute. Oh, let me show you what book I'm reading, y'all. It's my medical massage book. I just felt like I needed to read it, you know, because I don't have nobody to work on right now. So I said, well, let me just take time to read it, and that's what I'm gonna do. It's the majority of cases where the patient feels the pain is its actual organ. The spreading character of the visceral pain makes it difficult to evaluate. One of the major signs of visceral pain is its correlation with one or several autonomic reactions such as headaches, nausea, and vomiting. Okay, referred pain. Referred pain is the result of the reflection of the visceral pain. So referred pain is the result of the reflection of the visceral pain on the somatic structure with which share the same innervation as the affected inner organ. Headaches, head zones, Chapman reflex zones in cases of chronic visceral disorders are very good examples of referred pain. Okay. Then we have what we call the type of pain. We have morning pain. In the majority, that morning pain, it gets a lot of people, doesn't it? It gets a lot of us. Yeah, like I said, I got about a good 10-15 more minutes. Okay, so the morning pain. In the majority of cases, pain in the morning is a sign of abnormalities of the musculoskeletal system. Regular muscular contractions are one of the driving forces of the peripheral circulation in the soft tissues, including the muscles themselves. So I'm going back and read that. Morning pain. In the majority, this is the majority of cases, pain in the morning is a sign of abnormalities of the musculoskeletal system. Regular muscular contractions are one of the driving forces of peripheral circulation in the soft tissues, including the muscles themselves. During the night, the muscles work less, and the muscle pump does not enforce the peripheral circulation. During the night, the muscle movement, we're on time of pain, by the way. During the night, muscle works less, and the muscle pump does not enforce peripheral circulation. If a skeletal muscle initially carries hypertonic muscular abnormalities, the tension within the affected muscle increases peripheral vascular resistance and blood perfusion decreases. So let's go back and read that again, because I love to go back and understand things. So this is my first time reading this part of this book anyway. So during the night, muscles work less, and the muscle pump does not enforce the peripheral circulation. If a skeletal muscle initially carries hypertonic, overdoing it. Muscular abnormalities, the tension within the affected muscle increases peripheral vascular resistance. So it's gonna resist it. It's gonna increase the resistance of it, and blood perfusion decreases. As a result, the patient feels pain. You hear? As a result, the patient feels pain and stiffness in the morning, and sometimes it takes a couple of hours to reduce its intensity to a comfortable feeling, to a comfortable level. As soon as a repetitive muscular contraction restores the function of the muscle pump, the intensity of the pain subsides. The greatest example of morning pain and symptoms is hypertonic abnormalities or or osteoarthritis. So like a lot of things I do, I'm always talking about I wake up first thing in the morning. You know, I've been doing my deadlifts I just want to test my stiffness and things of that nature in certain parts of the body. So I get up first thing in the morning, I throw a whole bunch of heavy weight on and do a few reps of that, do a few reps of push. I want to check out my stiffness and pain level and things like that as soon as I wake up with certain things. So that's I'm gonna go back and reread the morning pain. I feel that morning pain is very important. So all right, late afternoon or evening pain. The patient wakes up without or very little mild pain. Later during the day, he or she starts to feel pain, which increases with every hour and reaches the maximum in the evening. Most likely, the patient suffers from intervertebral disc pathology, bulging disc. Okay, that's interesting. Let me go back and read that. The patient wakes up with or without very little, very mild pain. Later during the day, he or she starts to feel pain, which increases with every hour and reaches the maximum in the evening. Most likely, patients suffer from intervertebral disc pathology, bulging disc, or tension in the soft tissues within the vertebral segments reach some critical level, and it started to affect the distribution of the vertical load with the vertebral segment. In such cases, the vertical position of the body increases the pressure of the affected disc or within vertebral segments with following irritations or compressions of the spinal nerve. For these patients, night sleep brings pain relief because it unloads the vertebral segments and okay, it makes a lot of sense actually. And intervertebral disc. Okay, and then we call the pain section at night. Any type of chronic or visceral disorder may trigger pain at night. Usually, it's a sign of that the practitioner will encounter a difficult case. The parasympathetic nervous system, breath control. I was talking about the breath control is much more active. It's much more active during the night, with the majority of the pain stimuli using this pathway. This is why pain, which may be tolerable during the day, feels excruciating at night. Usually it is the practitioner that will encounter a difficult case. The parasympathetic nervous system is much more active during the night. Okay. With the majority of the pain stimuli using this pathway. This is why the pain may be tolerable during the day and feel excruciating at night. Okay. So I have, how much I got left? I want to read. I'm gonna stop right here. Then I go back and I just go over this and do when I get home. Maybe another time up here. Okay, pain increases with movement. Correlation of the pain with movement. Pain increases with the movement. The intensity of pain increases when the patient has an active trigger point in the skeletal muscles in periosteum. Another scenario is radiating pain along the pathway of the peripheral nerves. In such cases, the contraction of the already tense skeletal muscle additionally irritates the already affected nerve and triggers radiating pain. This is a very helpful symptom because the practitioner will get an exact idea of what muscle on what level affects the nerve by asking the patient to execute movements with trigger points radiating pain. Movement in the joint affected by contracture also may trigger pain. Pain decreases with movement. When the patient has pain and the result of edema, decrease of circulation, sleeping trigger points, or inactive myoglosis, repetitive movements bring some decrease of its intensity as a result of additional activation of the muscle pump. I'm always talking about you gotta just move your body in a billion ways. This is basically what I'm talking about. When the patient has pain as a result of edema, like edema, you can do like a whole bunch of self pumps in there with edema, like 150 pump. That's your your manual labor pump. It decrease of circulation. The pump helps bring circulation to area 2. Sleeping trigger points or inactive myelinogelosis, repetitive movements brings some decrease. That's why you do it every day. Decrease of intensity as well as the results of additional activation of the muscle pump, which increases. Remember, you want the arterial circulation as well as the venous and lymphatic drainage. That's why I'm always talking about first. Just get up and move a billion ways. Although I'm not a runner, but this is why jogging and things like that's good too, especially with breath control, man. Because jogging does a great job of releasing that thing. But you gotta move like a billion ways, because jogging is more straight line, So just when you go run, just get all crazy, man. Just let your body flow. Let the hips and the spine and the ankles just flow naturally, man. You don't have to try to run all crazy. Just let it flow naturally. Okay, so movement does not have an effect on the intensity of pain. Pain in the areas of the cutaneous trigger points or referred pain are examples of this. Movement does not have an effect on the intensity of pain. Okay, that makes sense. Pain in the areas of the continuous trigger points. Oh yeah, I believe me, I understand it. Referred pain are examples of this. Intensity of the pain. The gate control theory proposed the graduation of the intensity of pain from the scale of 1 pain scale to 10. So, I went and read like a few pages, all 1, 2, 3 pages. That's pretty much it. I'm going to read pain patterns another time. So I want to, just go with pain, dealing with pain, reason with the pain, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, y'all fellas be easy. Y'all have a good day. I'll come back with some other stuff. I get better at this reading, but I'm gonna keep reading this stuff because y'all gonna get you the information whether you like it or not. I'm out, y'all.